Hey everybody, Marcus Graves back again with a reaction, this time to episode 6 of Legion, chapter 14. Quick recap of last episode, we had maybe an insight into Fukuyama's true identity, possibly. We're seeing Oliver gain a bit more defiance with Farouk. I mean, he may have been doing so before, but we finally get to see the conveyance and the visualization of that happening. And of course, we have Lenny. And we come to find out, and David does too, Farouk was not able to just conjure one up. One had to be taken, one person had to be transubstantiated into another, and they took David's sister. So now David has a vendetta. I mean, not that he didn't have one before, but now he has even more of an incentive to kill Farouk. And I'm sitting here wondering, with his plan so far, Farouk's plan, what function did this play have in that plan now? I'm sure we'll find that out. Well, let's get into it, guys. That's cool. David? If this is older David, looking a lot like his dad from, let me just say that. Multiple Davids.
Beside myself with not knowing the topic of conversation. Relays, is that a race?
302. That's impressive for a product that's been on the market only 6 weeks.
So I saw that the description for this episode, all it was, or the synopsis was what could have been. So of course we saw the hobo David, mogul David, old man David, go for secretary-esque David, just imagining multiple lives. Stalker David. Now this is the David we saw in the car with Amy, right? Because I remember, yeah, the name tag.
It's this thing, the multiple worlds theory.
Methed out David.
From like, or homeless, or married in the suburbs with like 2.3 kids.
2.3. There's literally half a child, only the torso, running around somewhere.
These branches, you see what I'm saying?
Notice how there are multiple Davids, but there's only one Amy, and I'm assuming this is David's imagination, and there's only one Amy so far,
David.
and she's very successful.
I know
Now,
she's nice,
is this
though.
one of his
You know,
alternate realities, or is this a flashback to, because we
gets you.
saw a similar thing to this last season? This is an alternate reality version of Splinter. Instead of going into the sewers and teaching the turtles ninjutsu, he went up on the table, on the desk I should say, to sing to David. Whoa, whoa. Oh, look at the foreshadows. Like like an atomic explosion that just creates a ghost image from where that person stood. Whew. That was crazy.
And you're listening to jungle sounds.
I can't think when I take them.
What's wrong with listening to jungle sounds, Amy? Huh? Sometimes jungle sounds can be soothing. Maybe you need to be soothed.
Sorry, sir.
So it seems to only be focusing on 3 in different timelines. It showed the
God bless me with a gift. Do you understand?
It showed the hobo, the mogul,
I am his chosen vessel.
and the stalker. Oh, and a possible 4th, the old man, unless he's an
Excuse me.
future version of one of these 3. Most likely the mogul. And now we see a different version
I've
of Amy.
been waiting.
So there goes my
Papers to sign.
hypothesis.
Harvey's screwing his masseuse.
So, you're screwing her too.
I hate it when you do that.
Ooh. This David uses his powers a little more liberally and a bit more maliciously. What was the, well, maybe finding out that his sister is dead, but what was the catalyst for this? What was the catalyst for these scenarios?
Fire!
Yo! Carrie? Looks like her pants and jacket. Shit! God damn. That was legit though. This is one of the first scenes in the first episode of the first season. Yeah, is that was that the, yeah, this ugly motherfucker, the yellow-eyed demon. Oh my gosh, that's creepy. Like, I literally sent chills down my spine. I'm kind of surprised by my own visceral reaction to that. Oh, Now the hobo is dead. The stalker is dead. Only the mogul so far remains alive. Maybe this is the old man. Or it could be that I kept losing track of David's. And I forgot about this one. Yeah. And this one. You know, I have in my notes here. It's funny.
Talk to Dr. Kissinger.
It's funny that they're bringing up scenes and images from the first season where he was questioning his reality. The little boy in the rain, the extension cord.
Promise.
And this kind of goes back to the first episode of this season. I believe it was the first, where the narrator said, "Do you ever question the nature of your reality?" I wonder if David, realizing his sister's gone, has sent him into a psychic break.
You decide what is real and what is not. Your will.
There's been a through line through this season, and that through line has been reality. The nature of reality. The possible malleability of reality. Whether that be perceived or actual. Everything we've seen up until this point has been perceived, the delusion, things of that nature. However, this episode, particularly at the very last minute and 30 seconds, brought forth the notion of the actual malleability of reality. We saw multiple Davids through at different stages in their existence. And then we finally come back to the reality, which is, I use quotations because I'm like, okay, you know, they're showing different things, and is this going to be the reality for much longer? Because that was the main thing. You see the different realities, you see the different things that can happen, or what may have been, and maybe not even what may have been, what is, I mean, because that's the question. I said during the reaction, I assumed that this was David's musings, that this was David contemplating the different ways his life could have gone, but we don't even get that confirmation at the end of this episode. It could, not necessarily a meta-narrative, but something for David without David being the one manifesting these different realities in his mind, these different possibilities in his mind, to come back to one thing that Farouk told him very early on. You decide what is real. Your will. Because I said during the reaction, I wrote it down in my notes earlier, earlier in the episode, they're showing a lot of season 1 flashbacks, but it's very particular. Up until the very end, it was very particular, showing the little boy in the rain screaming with all, well, it didn't show it here, but back in the first season, when all the voices, all the people on the street came to him and to signify the many thoughts and voices that he hears. The teenager in the back of the cop car with the drugs, and David talking with Amy and her committing him to the psychiatric hospital. They were all ones dealing with his thinking that he had either schizophrenia or DID, or and so even then I'm thinking to myself, okay, they're showing these ones in particular where he questioned his mental state, he questioned his reality, he questioned these things. And once again, all to drive home to one point: you decide what your reality is. Could we see David try to tamper with reality as they know it? We'll certainly find out. Alright guys, well I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe if you're so inclined. Check out my channel for all my other videos. I have reactions, breakdowns, my short film Yin and Yang that I wrote and directed. Go on there, enjoy, and I'll see you guys next time for Legion, Episode 7, Chapter 15. Have a good one, guys.